All right. So right now, admin 2 is only on our staging server. Um, so before you, this is a project that we started a couple years ago, and before we had a way to access it through the admin by going to I think their link might still be there, it just doesn't work to view the admin data. Right now that isn't available, it's only on staging servers, so this is the only admin that has admin 2. And yeah, so this is the new layout we've got. Instead of the menu across the top, we have kind of a more modern feel with it along the side. If you click on any of these, you can go straight to the sub pages of any of these site pages. And all right, so that closes it all together. We're probably going to update this icon to be a little more intuitive, make it kind of like the same icon you'd see in YouTube, where you can expand the expand icon. Because right now the X doesn't totally make sense with it outside there. You can also collapse it and have a more abbreviated blue, have it more contracted here. And with this, then you get these little flyout menus. And so here we can go directly to one of these order statuses, or go directly to the particular product page you want, instead of having to go to products and then click on the subpage that you want to go to. A few things that we added here to the menu. We added a reports button here, and this is just an easier way to access like your financial reports. So it'll still, right now it just still goes to the dashboard page, but it'll open up the reports here. Like that. We also have this Explore CC section, which it does not exist. And some of these are going to have to be updated or removed because they're not relevant anymore, but we have like a link to our blog, a link to the ideas portal, a link to our status page here. And I think, yeah, some of these need to be removed, like the Crystal credits, the community, and this probably needs to be renamed. But anyway, the main things that have changed are on the orders page and the inventory page. So we can go to the orders page. If we click on these little icons here, it will load up the default orders page for us. The load time is going to be longer than normal because this is on our staging server and it's not live in production. So these aren't the load times you can expect. Because it is taking a long time to load the orders page. Yeah, our goal with this isn't to make you have to relearn everything. It's mainly just to give our admin a kind of a more modern feel, try to make it more intuitive. And while we know a lot of you are used to using the existing admin, we're hoping that these changes will be quick to get used to, and that you'll end up liking them better than the existing admin overall. That's our goal. It's just make things easier for you guys. So this is the updated orders page. Like before, we've got order statuses here. We have kind of the more commonly used search fields here. There are more filters if we expand this here. Some of the feedback we have gotten so far is that channels is as important as any of these, and that this shouldn't be hidden under the filters. So that's one thing that we are considering updating. Right now, these aren't really in use. these have more to do with like maybe like a future like marketplaces system that we don't currently have yet. But yeah, we have transaction, our sales channel IDs here, as well as searching for orders with discounts, orders with customer notes, payment types, shipping methods. And then down here, we've got the actual order details. So if we expand this, so some of the feedback we got from last time, which was great, it wasn't something that I would have thought of myself, is that with this new admin, when you expand the order, it just expands it down the page here. Whereas, let's see, we've got, with the existing admin, we can see it snaps to the top of the page. So that is something that I put in a ticket for to, as an update we need to make to admin too. I am also going to be working with our developers and designers on what exactly this does, because we have this expandable order view that goes between quick and full, but to me it looks like it just stretches out the information.
Several times and we haven't gotten a response to the revised one, and I just sent you again. So please reply back that we can print that because it's ready to go out to the school. If you need to call me, my number is 972-809-2972. It's a option for the art department. Thank you. Bye.
Oh yeah, sorry, I meant to do that before. If you have any feedback or anything, please use the chat. Where's the list here? A little more orderly, and it's also great for us to have the chat log. I noticed there's some stuff that maybe I missed or wasn't able to address during the actual demo, that feedback that we'd gotten. But by going back through the chat log, I was able to, get all the feedback and make sure that it was all documented. So yeah, the chat is definitely the way to go. Thanks, Mike. All right, so in the order view here, we have the main order information. You can change the status right here through the drop-down menu. You can add order comments here. Begin fulfillment. That is a good question. It looks like this just drops you down here to the postage section to print postage. So we have, the label printing here. And right now, if the order has all payments received, it's highlighted in green. One update that one of our designers saw that we think would be good is to add some kind of other visual indication, like a check mark. That way, it's like any colorblind users will be able to see at a glance that payment has been received. So yeah, we have the order fulfillment here, tracking number just like normal. You can print both the pull sheet and the invoice. So there's the invoice for this order, and looks like there's a pull sheet there. I wonder if that should be swapped, because I'm guessing that you're more likely going to want to print the invoice for an individual order as opposed to a pull sheet for an individual order. So I'll make a note of that. Just a second here. All right. All right, and so if there are any other actions you need to take on the order, like refunding or voiding, at the moment you need to go to View Full Order, and this will open the complete order in a new tab. And then we've got all of like the action items here under this menu. So adding an item to the order, edit the current order quantities. So if we do that, we'll edit the quantities here and then be able to save them. Processing a refund, adding a manual payment to an order, putting the order on hold, and voiding the order. By having the void, this is one of the things I noticed at first, is that little like trash can icon was missing from the void orders, to void the order. I think kind of one benefit of this is that it'll make voiding an order by accident harder to do. Because you still have the confirmation as well. And then we have reporting as fraud, and then a new feature that doesn't exist in our current admin, exporting the order items to CSV. And actually, let's see what that looks like. All right, so you can see here, there are some instructions at the top if you want to use the CSV for adjusting inventory. I think this link might need to be updated though. So let's see. All right. Demo adding an item to an order, or adding a payment to an order. Yeah, so yeah, it just goes right down here. I don't really need to add one, but I guess we can. And that will show up as an order adjustment right here. In the full view, we also have the shipping address and customer information shows up over here, so we can see how much total they've spent in the past. That does still show up here. How'd the item be added? Let's see. So first we need to select a category. So I know, let's select I don't know what we have in stock on this admin. And then we'll select a product. And it looks like we don't have any of that one in stock. But if we did, it would have like the condition available and the quantity here, and then we'd add the item to the order. Let's see if we can find them that we actually have though. One sec, let's head over to the inventory page here. So we can get kind of a preview of the new inventory page. Let's find something that has quantity. Academy Drake from Dominaria. All right, let's try that. So we can use the search there. Academy Drake. Huh. Do we have to refresh? Okay. That is something that I think should be improved. Um, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Annie. That looks like something that we needed to test a little more. We can see the Academy Drake is there, but we did have to refresh for it to be added. When adding an item, does it change the amount? Yeah, it does. See the order. Well, we have our Academy Drake grossly overpriced in our test admin here. But yeah, we can see now the subtotal is updated. So now payments received is in red. So the order, we know the order is unpaid for, and we can see that $117.26 is still owed. And so now if we, let's add a payment. And we're back to a green payments received. But the remainder is still here. So that's another thing to note. Refresh again. There we go. Okay, unless you refresh. All right. So it looks like, yeah, if that would be a good update if we could do it to make it so that like any changes you make to the order, like update it on the screen instead of having to refresh. And then another kind of new thing we have, I mean, we've had a lot of this information before, but now it's kind of all organized into one spot, is the fraud analysis. So whether or not the shipping and billing address match, whether or not the shipping address has any prior fraudulent activity reported on it, and the IP address. And again, I think these should probably be swapped. But if we go back to the full order view, or the main orders page here, we've got all the printing options here. So this will default to whatever your search parameters are for printing invoices, addresses, or the pull sheet. Or if you have any order selected, it will then switch over to doing these actions for whatever orders you have selected. You can also, if you have orders selected, you can batch update the status here. So like update to processing, payment received, etc. Seems I see the side menu bar is moving. Are you talking about this menu here? Like if we scroll down, or okay, so you want this one? I see what you're saying. So you want the main part of the page to scroll, but the side menu to stay where it is. Yeah, I'll. That's something that we'll have to bring up with design. But I think that's a good suggestion. And then here we have shipping, import and export kind of under one location here. So exporting the shipping addresses here. And this doesn't necessarily have to do with admin 2, but we've gotten a lot of good feedback on how to improve this recently. And then the tracking import here, and this is just like how it works in the current admin. So that is pretty much it as far as the orders page goes. Miss the icon to print just a single order? Yeah, that's a good point. That would be nice to just have on the status line still. I agree with that. Um, that's a very good point. I know, yeah, I'm recalling that, that's something that I used quite a bit actually. Um, back when I was like shipping orders for Magic Arsenal, we would like do like the main like print all invoices at the beginning of the day. But then if there were any like few ones that came through, if we had to print any, it was nice to have that button there. All right, and the void as well. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I kind of noticed at first. I think I kind of justified it by saying like you don't void an order very often. As far as I know, I could be wrong. Um, I feel like it's a little less used than printing, and having it kind of under here makes it less likely to accidentally void orders. But I mean, yeah, our end goal is to make things easier and faster for you and not take longer. So I could definitely see the merit of having those icons, both of those icons back. All right. Let's go ahead and move to the inventory page. So here we have kind of our default products page. Types is pretty much the same as before. Categories as well. This hasn't really been updated. It's mainly just the products page here, where you manage your prices and quantities. So we have category filters here. We can select a parent level category here, or expand it and view the subcategories underneath. We have the product type menu over here. This will show you how many categories you have selected. So very similar to how it works before. So the default filters are present currently. So the filters that would apply to products of any type. And then the one specific to whatever product type you're looking at, like the specific descriptors for Magic, because we have a Magic set selected, will be under this menu that we can open. And then the variant filter specific to that product type will open here. This is one of the things I'm personally unsure about, because I feel like selecting like conditions when searching, especially if you're like managing if you're wanting to manage like all your near mint cards for a particular set or like for standard, I feel like it's a fairly common thing. And so having this kind of under this menu here might just add more clicks to your workflow. If we just type a product name, it should work that way. So if we search for, I don't know, Llanowar Elves, I'm adding a format filter. I think that would be good. The thing is, we'd have to have a way of the system knowing what each format is, and then you also have to have a way of dealing with reprints. So if you were to have like a descriptor for format that you fill in, you could do that. Right now, I don't know if that's really within the scope of admin 2, but it's something we could consider as like maybe part of catalog. So here we have all the Llanowar Elves showing up. There is an existing bug that I know about right now. So this is where you would go to select an individual condition to before this would be like the manage button. Here you use the drop down and select your condition and language and then click show. Right now this will just refresh the page. So I'm not going to bother with that, but that is a known bug with admin 2. And clicking on the total quantity will expand all the default variants, or it should. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like it's only selecting the ones I've selected here. All right. And here we have some updates to how you actually manage individual conditions. We've got the quantity and opt quantity fields here, and then as well as reserve quantity and infinite quantity. Before reserve and infinite quantity, you could only access through the edit window. And so you'd have to, right now you'd have to go to edit, and then go to variant info, and then here you can set reserve quantity and flag something as infinite quantity. So Randy, in that example, would that just be to make it faster than searching by product name? Because right now, if you search by product name, you'll come up with like we have all the versions of Lenware else showing up. Okay. And ideally, would you want that to open like a new tab with that search? Or have it like, so like, let's say we're, okay. Because yeah, if you're to view see all versions, I guess the two options would be to like replace your existing search results by all the versions or open a new tab. And just in my mind, I'm guessing opening a new tab would probably be preferable. Like if you're doing like a search for 10th edition, and you want to just double check Lenware Elves and your other sets, maybe you'd want to do that without getting rid of your search results, your original search results. So because this stuff is taking kind of the main real estate here, we have the pricing options here. So here we can see right now it's using the default pricing percentage that we have for the product type. But here we can uncheck the box and set, a custom percentage and a custom like flat amount. So if we want to just to make sure that near mint was always 50 cents, we could do that. Looks like I just refreshed the page though. Oh, right, save changes. Okay, yeah. I hit enter, because that's just kind of what I naturally wanted to do, I guess. But enter just refreshes the search, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like saving the changes also resets the search completely, which I don't think is what we want it to have happen. I think we want it to stay on the search results you have. If enter prioritize save changes, a save changes prompt, so you hit enter and then it like prompts you to confirm that you want to save your changes. Yeah, I mean, based on the test data just now, I think that's a good idea because intuitively I was like, without really noticing the save changes button, I like just going through it just now. I wanted to hit enter to try to save, but it just redid the search. So. All right. We have the create product button is always going to be up here. Before, we just had this kind of new button right here next to the save. I feel like this is kind of a more, makes a little bit more sense. And this here, just ignore this error. This has to do with the fact that we still have the kind of the non-supported market price beta still trying to show up on the page. So that's another thing that we need to fix. But it makes it so if right now, if you navigate from anywhere after this page, it'll show that error message at the top. So here we would add the photo as kind of like the first or kind of main thing here for adding a new product. We have product name, category. This will default to whatever category you are currently viewing if you're in the middle of a search. Kind of these evergreen descriptors. All the special rules here in one section. And then the product type specific descriptors here. So if we select I don't know, Ixalan, we can see we have the, why isn't this expanding? All right, there's another bug. All we search by typing, let's see. Doesn't look like it. I think what's kind of throwing that off is that these subcategories have these dashes. I think that's how it currently works. So if I were to do like dash, 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 hour, no, not even that works. Huh. Yeah, that would be a good improvement. All right, let's X out of that. And batch update options are over here. And so we've got your product actions. So that would be like sell price, buy price, max quantity, things that are specific to like the general product, but not a specific condition or variant. And currently we have this advanced product section that has MSRP, international domestic sale only, and setting the weight. And here we just have them under this show more options. So that would include tags, MSRP, setting products as in store, international, updating the brand, and updating weight. And then for updating like conditions, like quantities and stuff, we have the variant actions here. And yeah, it's a good idea. All right. So let's say we're searching for the Dominaria. Near mint. So here, if we have like the price selected, we can, set our prices. If I hit tab, it will go down to the next price. I think it could do a better job of making sure it's not like at the very bottom of the page. And then if we're updating quantity, like if I want to add a quantity here and I hit tab, it'll go down to the next quantity field. And I believe opt quantity will kind of do the same thing. So I imagine that's less likely. You'll probably be more likely to be setting opt quantities through a batch update. We have the kind of the stats for the last 6 weeks here under this net change. Yeah, there is. It's going to be under your product type filters, and so we have foil and regular under there. One thing I'm not really sure of is how, I think I kind of mentioned this, but how far down the variant filters are when you have all the descriptor filters enabled. To me, scrolling down to access the variant filters doesn't feel right. I don't know what you guys think about that. But that might be something we can talk with our design team about improving. It's not as bad if you have like these filters collapsed. Having these able to be collapsed does improve it like that, though. Yeah, I won't be able to test that right now, Randy, because of, well, I guess I can kind of use the weird workaround that we discovered. Where if I hit light play and then click on this, now I have the light play. And so here we could update that. Whereas, yeah, legacy system, let's see. Yeah, in the legacy system, we would have to select light play from the drop down here and then hit manage. Whereas in this one, we would hit light play here and then click show. So that is, I think that is one extra click though, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, and here we've got 1, 2, 3. So that could be an argument for maybe bringing back kind of the style of management. I don't know, you guys have any thoughts on that? Like managing like quantities through showing the condition here and viewing all default by clicking on this total quantity button here compared to the current version of like just having drop downs and then hitting manage. Yeah, so if you don't have anything selected, then hitting the total quantity will display all. But yeah, and then yeah, tabbing through these, we can add quantities that way. We do have that viewer 10. We have it under net change. So this will show like the overall. It'll like kind of do the math and tell you like overall like did you um, if the card was added or removed from inventory. If you hover over it, it'll show the information here, like the shipped and orders purchased and wish lists. But it helps like page load to just have the net change show up by default and then have this kind of pop up if you want more information on a specific item. The marketplace is similar. Net change stats is something that we use all the time. Okay, that's good to know. So you prefer it to have all that information be displayed just right on the page like it currently is. All right. Right now, I don't believe there is viewer 14. So Randy, it's not that much different with this. Here, if we click the total quantity, it's basically the same thing as just hitting manage by default. I think what does add clicks is viewing another like specific condition though, like expanding this to access those. So that's something that, yeah, we might need to review. Here we have, so this will, for the market price, it'll default to like the average or the median. We had some more market price data in our catalog that we haven't been displaying. And so that is one thing that we updated recently is we're just displaying all the data, or at least more of like the actual like data. So we can see we have the median, low, and high. Before those were, or currently these are what shows up on your inventory page. But we've also added what the maximum is, what the minimum is, the standard deviation, and the average. So by having it default to just showing the median and then having it expand here, we're able to give you kind of more advanced information. Yeah. If you search a card will show all conditions in stock. So in Legacy, if you want to see all conditions in stock, you do have to look for like quantity between. So if we were to just do like a Magic 2011 search, I mean, we can hit manage and we can see that these are in stock. But if we actually wanted to see like all of the acidic slimes and everything we have in stock, we'd actually have to go under like quantity between 1 and blank and then search. And then here we can see that we somehow, looks like we did some renaming of variants here a little while back. So we have like 23 under lightly plate here. But here we can see all the ones we have in stock. So here it isn't really any different. We can do quantity between 1 and blank and search. And it'll show us these are all the quantities we have in stock for this category. Yeah, as far as I can see, that is all, that works pretty much the same way. We've also added kind of some tooltips here for what these quantities do, like what reserve quantity is, how it affects you, what infinite quantity does. as well as like links to our knowledge base. I think we need to review the knowledge base links to just look at the URLs. I don't know if those are right. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the changes. We are kind of we're kind of running out of time here. So we're gonna have to end the meeting here soon. Search by tag. That is a good observation. What's that? Oh, okay, yeah, it's under, yeah, show more filters here. So we have kind of like the basic filters here, and then we have more, which has, yeah, you can still search by things with tag, as well as, sales from the past however many days. The buyer risk tab hasn't changed at all. That isn't something that we've updated, at least not yet. So that's something we still need to figure out, Annie. We'll definitely be sending out a message about that. I think what we'll end up doing is we should be able to download the video from our join.me account, and then I think what we'll do is we'll just upload it to YouTube, and then we'll send out a link to everyone so they can view the video. That's kind of what I'm thinking for now. Customer mode, can we make sure some sort of area to put a name on the name? Oh, okay, are you talking about an order where maybe like a customer wasn't originally applied to it? Yeah, I think that's something that would be good to have. I don't know if that's I don't know if that necessarily pertains to this like current Admin 2 project, but I definitely think that's a good suggestion, Shauna. Maybe something we could work on in tandem with it. But yeah, the restock page, as you can see, is pretty much like is untouched. The only ones we've really updated are orders and inventory. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this demo. I think I found some things I didn't notice before, so I know for me it was nice kind of going through this again for you guys. I appreciate all the feedback. Maybe if you guys have any more, just feel free to dump it in the chat. Yeah, I agree, Randy. That is, I don't know if we've gotten that a whole lot recently, but I know I've definitely had to talk to people in the support chat where they're like, "Hey, we forgot to add a customer to a POS order. How do we do that?" And unfortunately, the only thing I can say is sorry, we can't. But yeah, I wish we could. Yeah, sorry, we weren't over at the beginning. So the reports thing here, it's just a quick way to access the financial reports that are on your dashboard. Because the dashboard doesn't really have any, if we go back to here, the dashboard doesn't really have any tabs on this black menu bar, so it doesn't have any sub-menus for the flyout. So we added a reports thing to quickly access those. But yeah, as we make more changes based on your feedback on our testing, and as we have more of them added to Admin 2, we'll definitely be sharing that with you guys. Yeah, our goal is we want to collaborate with you and make sure there aren't any surprises or that we're not springing this on you. So, yeah, appreciate all the feedback. And we'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date on the progress of this. So. All right. I think that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks again. Have a great day, guys. And we'll be available if you guys have any other feedback or have anything else you need help with throughout the day. So yeah, have a good one.